This is the evening news for Tuesday, August 5, 2014. I'm Ruben Stobie. Thanks for joining us. Making the headlines tonight, woman dies after pit bull attack. Guyana Festival preparations moving apace. Crime chief claims WPA-PPP plan to topple PNC government. Man remanded for narcotics possession, and National Youth Conference scheduled for August 12. Now for the news in detail. A woman was mauled to death today by two pit bulls. Here are details in this report.
A 51-year-old woman is now dead after she was attacked by two pit bulls on Tuesday at her Lamaha Springs home. The dead woman has been identified as Joan Cater. She was residing in an apartment at the back of the yard and was home alone when the incident occurred. Carter, who was suffering from a terminal illness, was living with her sister and brother-in-law, but was staying in a separate apartment at the back of the yard. Owner of the property, Leslie Tomside, told reporters that he and his wife both left for work on Tuesday morning, and when he returned home for lunch, he made the gruesome discovery.
I would come home at 11:15, 11:30, thereabout. And when I came to the gate, I saw my dogs at the gate, and they were having a little blood on them. So I thought that they had a fight, a battle between the two of them. And I opened the gate, went in, opened that other gate, my garage gate, go to the front door, rest whatever I had my meals on there. I said, let me go down to the back and see what is the result of the fight between the two of them. So I walked down the back and they were running ahead of me and they went into the pen. So as soon as I got where I could have seen the back house, there's a house at the back there where my sister-in-law live. For some reason or other, I cast my eyes in that direction and I saw her lying on the ground, face down. As a matter of fact, she wasn't directly on the ground, she was on her knees, but bracing against the stairway.
Shocked by the incident, the man said he went to his neighbor and summoned the police. According to Thomside, he has had the two mixed breed dogs for the past 5 years. He noted that they were used for security purposes and were usually tamed. The owner explained that Carter moved in with them about 4 months ago and will usually be in the yard with the dogs. He said that this is the first time the dogs have done something so vicious.
She was here living with us about 4 months, but she would come out and sweep in front of our place there, throw a little water, wash off every now and again and so on, but she does it in the morning early and like late in the afternoon. The dogs are there and they're in the yard with her and we are around and so on. And we go out to work in the day, myself and my wife, she's here. And over that period of time, we have had no indication of what would have happened like a morning like this.
Tomside told reporters further that given the fact dogs have tasted human blood, he will have to put them down in order to avoid another episode such as this.
Days ahead of the inaugural Guyana Festival at the National Stadium, Providence, hundreds of persons from across the region have confirmed their participation for the highly anticipated event. Details in this Svetlana Marshall report.
The Guyana Festival is gaining momentum. Acting Tourism Minister Finali said, positing that there has been tremendous international interest.
For a matter of fact, the tour operators in Suriname are giving us a number close to 500 in terms of persons who are coming in for the festival from Suriname. So a lot of the small hotels will be filled up for the entire festival weekend.
Approximately 20,000 Guyana Festival passports are being sold in countries around the world, including the United States of America, Canada, in South America, and in the Caribbean. Sold at the cost of $3,000 or US $15, the rush is on for the passports, which will give spectators access to the event on all 3 days, starting on Friday, August 8.
The passport sale is going as expected. We have lots of interest for the passport, and the sale is even picking up greater and greater. We also have tickets, daily tickets that are going on sale. So if you want tickets instead of the passport, that too is there. But the passport gives you that added benefit of getting the more than 20 discount coupons and also the chance to win that car with the celebrity autographs and so on that are there.
According to Ali, the response from the private sector has been tremendous, pointing out that there will be 70 booths spread across the tarmac, in addition to 6 cultural villages and Coney Island. Contrary to reports published in sections of the press, he said plans are moving apace. The 3-day festival includes a national concert, a night of legends, a grand cookout competition, festival games, Coney Island, and a Generation Next concert. Art and craft, in addition to local produce and products, will also be on display. Svetlana Marshall reporting for the Evening News.
With fashion taking center stage in society, a new store has been opened to the public, offering a wide range of designers' products. Here are the details.
A young entrepreneur on Monday officially opened his multi-million-dollar business offering designer-labeled products to the public. Tatas Jewelry and Gift Center is located in Little Brazil on Robb Street. Speaking with this newscast, proprietor Steve Persod explained that the venture and the location of his business were inspired by his many Brazilian friends.
A lot of my friends are Brazilians. I went to school with a lot of Brazilians. They started requesting these products from me, so I took the advantage and went the extra mile and got the products. I have perfumes, handbags, sunglasses, watches, Brazilian clothing, candies, practically anything you can think about. So I went the extra mile, I got everything. I have jewelry, fashion jewelry, and everything.
The entrepreneur is confident that his business will be successful given the fact that he worked with his father, the owner of Scott's Jewelry, and had gained a wealth of experience from him. He added that he is not bothered by the competition since the prices of his products are very much affordable.
Most of my products I get it directly from companies, and I'm willing to offer, if you get a cheaper price for the same brand from any place, I will match it for you. I have a promotion going on whereas you buy some stuff, I give you get a present on behalf of my company. So that's going to be going on for about the first month of my business. And as it pick up from there, I will start broadcasting my new ideas and stuff to the public.
Tatas Jewelry and Gift Center has in stock all the trendy brands such as Kenneth Cole Reaction, Guess, and Calvin Klein.
If you have a news tip or news story you would like our news team to follow, message us. Our WhatsApp telephone number 592-680-9630. You can also call us at our office 231-0382 or 226-2102, 223-7230 or 223-7231. Stay tuned to the Evening News. Thanks for staying tuned. Commissioners probing the circumstances which led to the death of WPA political activist Dr. Walter Anthony Rodney today heard that the People's Progressive Party had collaborated with the Working People's Alliance to bring down the dictatorial Burnham-led regime. Let's find out more from Alexis Rodney.
Senior Superintendent of Police and former head of the Special Branch Unit of the Guyana Police Force, Leslie James, today returned to the stand at the Walter Rodney Commission of Inquiry to continue his evidence-in-chief. And based on the evidence presented from files prepared by the Working People's Alliance back in 1980, the Commission heard that the two political bodies, which had to some extent become the adversary of the ruling government, had made clandestine plans to seize the reins of power from Prime Minister Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. The two parties, which were under the watchful eyes of the government, had on several occasions planned to rid the country of the suppressive rule of the Prime Minister. Led into evidence by Commission's Counsel Lachmi Rahman, Superintendent James read reports by the WPA involving the late Dr. Chedi Bert Jagan, then leader of the People's Progressive Party. The report cited an occasion in June of 1980 where Dr. Jagan had declared that the PPP will do anything to remain in Parliament, even if it means sitting there with only one seat. That meeting was held to discuss plans for the upcoming general elections. The files also report Dr. Jagan's concerns for the WPA if the PPP did in fact gain that one seat in Parliament. During prior evidence to the tribunal, witnesses have revealed that the Working People's Alliance had crafted a plan to overthrow the 1980 People's National Congress government. Now leader of the WPA, Dr. Rupert Rupnerine, and the late Dr. Walter Rodney were said to have been at the forefront of that plan and were said to have been acquiring arms and ammunition to achieve their objective. Since the commencement of the inquiry some 3 months ago, the Commission has been hearing about moves by the then PNC government to stifle the opposition. Reporting for the Evening News, I'm Alexis Rodney.
Today, Ian Fraser appeared for the second time before Magistrate Anne McLennan at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, where he was charged for the possession of narcotics. The charge, which was read by Magistrate Anne McLennan, stated that on July 24 at Camp Street, the defendant had in his possession 32 grams of cannabis for the purpose of trafficking. According to the facts of the case, the defendant is a convicted prisoner, meaning that during his first case matter, he pleaded guilty to the charge laid against him and is currently serving 3 years imprisonment. On the day in question, the defendant was performing duties outside of the prison. At around 12:45, the defendant returned to the prison. A search was carried out on him after police suspicion arose. They found the cannabis concealed in the defendant's pants crotch. The market value calculated by the prosecutors is $400 per gram. Fraser was fined $38,500 and an additional 4 months imprisonment after completing his first set of years. The Come Alive Network Inc. will be hosting its first ever youth conference to empower Guyanese youths. More in this report.
Under the theme Just Youth It, the Come Alive Network will be hosting the first National Youth Conference to commemorate International Youth Day in Guyana. The event will commence on August 12 from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Theatre Guild and will see young persons from throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. Co-director of the Come Alive Network, Samuel Glasgow, stated that this event will feature many other prominent individuals from around Guyana that will influence the youth in their mission.
Since we're collaborating with a few other NGOs, we have persons like Imar Radix, she's the founder of ES4, we have Rosh Khan, Gordon Mosley, Sarah Barrett. These are prominent youth in our community.
Even though the conference is free, there's a slight requirement that comes along with admission procedures.
The conference definitely is free, but there's something attached to that. Well, the tickets are uplifted at the California Stucco, that is on Sheriff and Bonasica Street. There's also August Beverage, that is on Norton and Crane Street, and it'll be open for persons to pick up on Wednesday, right? We're hoping exclusively to get youth in Guyana. So with coming for the ticket, we have to show some form of identification that you're between the age of 16 to 35 to uplift these tickets. And from there, we're hoping to get at least 300 young people out there to be inspired and motivated by what Come Alive Network does and what persons from different NGOs does.
The Come Alive Network is a non-governmental, non-profit organization founded in 2012 for youths by youths to actively support youth development and enable young men and women using applied global perspectives to effectively contribute to genuine and progressive community and global development. For the Evening News, Jalicia Pinder.
The Evening News will return after these messages. Welcome back. Taking into account the fact that Guyana's mining sector is about to grow exponentially, a local mining company has taken the initiative to hone the skills of blasters. Here are the details in this report.
Orica Mining Services will be looking to acquire the skills of blasters to ensure that best practices are maintained as 3 new mining companies commence operations in Guyana. Company representative Dave Kisoon said that the company was cognizant of the impending need for blasters in the mining sector and decided to take proactive steps to meet the demand when it arises.
This is one of a series of over 15 courses that we have held in Guyana in the past and will continue. It's the beginning of a series of courses that will continue in the future so that we can qualify new young blasters. We have 2 very qualified mining engineers from Latin America who have been practicing in the field for the last 15 to 20 years. And they're here to hone in on skills of blasters who are already certified and to assist persons who are supervising and dealing with other aspects of the blasting process so that they are thoroughly up to date with safety procedures, transport procedures, and technical aspects of the blasting process.
Rock blasting, which is the controlled use of explosives, and other methods such as gas pressure blasting, pyrotechnics, or plasma processes to excavate, break down, or remove rock.
What has happened over the last 50 years is that many of the blasters who are here in the field have matured. In addition to that, with the advent of the two new companies that may be coming on stream here, we recognized as part of our forward planning that we did not want to be in a situation where there was a demand for this expertise and it was not available. As it stands currently, there is sufficient expertise, but that can quickly change. So this was an anticipatory move by the government and by Orica to be able to put this program together so that we could have ensured that the future was secured.
Swetlana Marshall reporting for the Evening News.
The United States Embassy's Youth Action Network, YAN, teamed up with visiting U.S. military cadets to take part in a major community service project on Saturday under the theme Ready to Serve, Ready to Lead. A total of 79 volunteers completed a beautification project at a help and shelter for domestic abused victims. The YAN members joined together with U.S. military cadets from the Cultural Understanding and Language Proficiency Program, CULP, the Embassy's Humanitarian Assistance Program. U.S. Peace Corps volunteers, embassy staff and shelter volunteers to carry out painting, gardening and other maintenance work. The beautification project included painting the living quarters for the residents and manager of the shelter and painting a section of the compound walls. Stay tuned to the Evening News. We return with news from the region. The CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts says membership of criminal gangs across the Caribbean is around 35,000 and again said that there has been an increase in the number of illegal firearms on the streets. The comment was made at a recent CARICOM workshop on the Arms Trade Treaty in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago by Head of Impacts Francis Forbes. He said less than half of the 14 CARICOM states have ratified the Arms Trade Treaty, although all 14 are signatories to the international agreement. Internationally, a 72-hour humanitarian truce is holding in Gaza, halting 4 weeks of conflict that has claimed more than 1,900 lives. Israel and Gaza militants maintained the fire up until the truce started at 8 hours local time. Israel says it has withdrawn all forces to positions outside Gaza, and some residents there are now returning to discover the fate of their homes. The truce has drawn an international welcome, and the focus for a longer deal will now fall on talks in Cairo. Time for the bridge reports. The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed from 13 hours on Wednesday, August 6, 2014 for a period of 1.5 hours. The Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed from 12:05 hours on Wednesday, August 6, 2014, also for a period of 1.5 hours. Stay tuned. This sports news is next. It's now time for the sports news. In the headlines, Sports Minister commends successful Inter-Guyana Games team. Guyana Under-19 cricketers beat Leeward Islands in regional one-day opener. GRFU concludes summer camp with Tag Rugby Festival, and the San Antonio Spurs hire NBA's first coach. This sports news comes to you with the kind compliments of Macorp.
We believe that everything worth building should be built just once. But that is why we build on culture, on trust, on integrity. We exist to do more, better, faster, safer. Your success depends on the foundation it's built on. Everything we do is meant to move you forward. Mark on. Let's build Guyana together.
We begin with the cricket news. A spirited Guyana under-19 side registered a sensational 76-run victory over the Leeward Islands in the opening round of the West Indies Cricket Board's regional one-day cricket tournament at the Enmore Community Centre ground on Monday. The three-day champions were first dismissed for 202 in 49.2 overs, but relied on a brilliant bowling display to stop the Leeward Islands at 126 in 42.2 overs. Balchan Baldio demonstrated his wily potency, claiming 3 wickets for a mere 15 runs off 10 overs, while Sharaz Ramcharan 2 for 13, Stephen Sankar 2 for 29 and Damien Waldron 1 for 31 all played their part with the ball. Pacer Niall Smith also chipped in with 1 for 15. Earlier, Kemo Paul rescued Guyana from a position of 60 for 5 with a composed half-century. Meanwhile, in other first-round matches, Trinidad and Tobago beat the ICC Americas by 164 runs, while Jamaica thrashed Barbados by 8 wickets. The victorious Inter-Guyana Games team has come in for praise from Sports Minister Dr. Frank Anthony. Guyana won the first leg of the games, which concluded on Sunday at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. Guyana's win in athletics was the major difference that helped the hosts to prevail overall, despite finishing third in swimming and second in basketball. According to a press release from Dr. Anthony, Guyana's outstanding performance in the competition is due to the hard work, commitment and dedication of the athletes and their coaches. In this regard, he said the ministry appreciates the effort and is looking forward for continued success. Dr. Anthony also added that the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport has been diligent in ensuring investments are made into sports development in terms of training opportunities and the installation of facilities such as the synthetic track and the aquatic centre. A fun-filled game of tag rugby brought the curtain down on the Guyana Rugby Football Union GRFU 2014 annual summer camp on Saturday. The mini tag rugby festival was held to showcase the skills of its young players that participated in the camp, as well as its introductory Get Into Rugby programs aimed at teaching young children the game of rugby. More than 45 male and female youths participated in the tag rugby festival, held under the watchful eyes of Youth Development Officers Troy Yip and Larry Adonis. Medals and trophies were presented by Mrs. Sheldon Green, that is Mrs. Sheldon Green, wife of GRFU President Peter Green. In a brief comment, President Green commended the sterling efforts of the youth development officers and stated that from such humble beginnings, the seeds of success for youth rugby have been sown with the promise of a bountiful harvest to come. San Antonio Spurs have hired women's NBA star Becky Hammon as assistant coach, making her the first woman to join an NBA coaching staff. Hammon currently plays for the San Antonio Stars, the city's WNBA franchise, but plans to retire after this season. Spurs coach Greg Popovich said he is confident her basketball IQ, work ethic and interpersonal skills will be a great benefit to the Spurs. And that has brought us to the end of the evening news for today, Tuesday, August 5, 2014. Please remember to get a copy of tomorrow's edition of the Guyana Times for details on these stories and other news. I am Ruben Stobie. Thanks for joining us.